if I'm a small trader from Noida, for instance, and I would like to obtain my credit fund for, I don't know, expanding my business, for the UAE, what do I do? Do I approach traditional banks? I don't know, ICICI or, SBI, or should I get in touch with fintechs, or should I get in touch with my friends and family? So it's a big question mark. And like for India, for instance, 60% of the economy is small and medium-sized businesses. So I think it's a huge area where this digitization can be addressed. And I think, you guys are on the right way to do so.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Orbit Shifting Talk. I have with me Mr. Victor, who is the director at Aster Lion. Welcome, Mr. Victor. How are you doing? How your experience had been today?
Thank you, Rishabh. Yeah, it's been a pleasure being here. And, I've just, registered a couple of weeks ago, and I did not anticipate much from this event, but I've been here since 9 a.m. in the morning, and like literally thousands of people who would like to make an impact for trade finance and for fintech industry. Obviously, you guys are one of the key ones as well.
Yeah. So, Mr. Victor, if I talk about some of the trends that are going in the market, you are talking a lot about artificial intelligence that's going to shift the whole banking and, to be very precise, going to impact lending market. Do you think that shift is going to come somewhere down the line next 6 months?
I think it's there as we speak,
Yeah.
in a way that, if you can see the small and medium-sized businesses, for instance, that are looking for lending and trade finance and different solutions, that are underloved by the traditional banks. I mean, they're already there looking for different solutions, especially from the credit risk perspective, for instance. And I'm sure that you guys are already aware that, so many banks in India and in the UAE and Southeast Asia, they do address this problem. And I think, it requires a lot of technological impact, which I think Nucleus Software should be able to address.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually are doing a lot of things in terms of loan origination, loan management, and the collection for artificial intelligence generated AI. Uh, Moving on to the next decade of finance, there was a leap wherein uh, every 10 years something comes which change the game. What do you think in the next decade something is going to come that's going to just change the game?
See, for the past 15 years, I've been in the fintech, business by myself, so I used to work for the Dubai government.
Oh.
I used to work for top 10, British fintech houses as well. And what I've been seeing right now is the move from the traditional manual, credit scoring, for instance, into the electronic credit scoring, because, the pace of the business has significantly increased. So basically everyone needs an answer like instantly, right? So that's why, we are quite looking forward to different, innovative solutions when, let's say, if I'm a small trader from Noida, for instance, and I would like to obtain my credit fund for, I don't know, expanding my business, for the UAE, what do I do? Do I approach traditional banks? I don't know, ICICI or, SBI, or should I get in touch with fintechs, or should I get in touch with my friends and family? So it's a big question mark. And like for India, for instance, 60% of the economy is small and medium-sized businesses. So I think it's a huge area where this digitization can be addressed. And I think, you guys are on the right way to do so.
Yeah. And you talk about credit scoring, with the involvement of artificial intelligence, human plus AI is working together and banks are using it really well while doing a credit scoring. Do you think the artificial intelligence is going to take over the scoring, underwriting, or risk assessment kind of a model for financial institutions? And does bank want to do 100% artificial intelligence for its?
See, Rishabh, let's put it this way. I mean, now AI is being oversold sometimes, as I can feel from the market, and I feel that everyone's trying to put a word AI into their services or solutions. So I think the devil is in the details as usual. So we need to understand, for instance, like let's say if AI is there, so what exactly is this assessing? Is this going to increase the time of the assessment? If it is going to be decreasing the level of paperwork that clients would need to prepare for the FIs? So there's a question mark. So I think, to be specific, many banks, they still declare that they would like to do digitization, which they don't in the same time. So I think, is the, opportunity for some, more brave and more courageous in banks to actually do a step forward and say, hey guys, we do this, come join us. And then I think, those banks will be the winners.
So you said you talk with UAE government and you've been involved with lot of fintechs and financial institutions. So, do you think there's a shifting trend that's going on, the focus or shifting balance between the product innovation or infrastructure modernization that financial institutions are focusing on? Is there a shift that they want, or they want it to be more balanced across?
See, I see this a lot. And again, like if you take, for instance, UAE government, so they do a fantastic job in implementing different kind of, initiatives, sometimes, in order to reduce some fraudulent transactions, sometimes to increase the speed of making decisions, So I have seen, fantastic technological solutions again by the UAE government, preventing duplicating of invoices, for instance, So this is one of the biggest problems of our regions, let's say Southeast Asia, South Asia, Gulf countries as well. To answer your question specifically, I think still a lot of distance has to be done. So I have seen by myself that companies do invest a lot. My previous organization, for instance, in DP World, which is a Dubai government company, so we invested a lot into technology, and it helps a lot.
Yeah. So, in terms of advisory part, you work with a lot of financial institutions. Any three things you want to talk the fintech should focus on that should map with the challenges or the solutions that financial institutions are looking for in?
I see. I'm still a believer that an agenda of financing of suppliers of your suppliers is the key. So those teeny tiny players, and there are thousands of those, because it's fairly easy to underwrite a gigantic company.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy to underwrite a publicly listed company, right? But it's not that easy to underwrite that sort of segment of 5 million to $100 million turnover companies, which nobody likes that much because it's difficult to do, and they have lack of collateralized assets at the same time. So possibly, I mean, instead of three things, maybe I will share like about one thing that, to identify a solution that would help to underwrite non-collateralized assets, whether to be a part of the trade for trade finance companies or fintech companies, or to find some other way, maybe using AI to make a proper scoring.
So, thank you, Mr. Victor, for joining us today. It was very nice talking to you and meeting you in person.
And likewise, Mr. Rishabh, and I wish your company all the best.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me, and we'll keep in touch.